Hi and welcome. Today we're going to be doing a super slow stretchy flow. So something nice and easy, but we're going to be getting deep into some poses and getting the body moving. You don't need props for this class, but if you have some, they may be helpful just in terms of allowing you to get a little bit deeper into some of the stretches. So a yoga block and a strap. If you don't have a yoga block or a strap, you can use a thick book for a block, or even cushions or a blanket, and a belt or a towel are good substitutes for a strap. So we're going to get started on our backs, keeping your feet flat on the floor, just settling down, allowing your back to come and sink into the mat. You can keep the palms facing up for now. Gently closing down the eyes. And we'll just start to get in touch with our breath. So noticing the inhales and the exhales. Feeling how your chest and back expand with every inhale. And how your body sinks a little bit deeper with every exhale. Maybe deepening the breath. Really feeling your rib cage expand across the mat and up towards the sky with your inhales. And letting everything soften with the exhales. Okay, blinking the eyes open. Raise your right leg off the mat and just start to gently roll out the ankle in one direction. And then when you're ready, rolling it out in the other. So from here, you can reach behind the thigh or maybe up a little higher. Or if you have a strap, you can grab that, place it just under the ball of the foot, bring your shoulders down to the mat and gently start to pull that right leg towards you. Flexing the feet, bringing the toes towards your face. If you'd like to get a little bit deeper into it, you can extend your left leg. Just breathing into your hamstring. Mine are a little tight. I went for a big cycle yesterday. So just keeping that shoulders on the mat. One more breath. And releasing the leg, bend the knee, and just guide it across your body to the left hand side. So here you can cactus the arms, you can spread them out into a T, and just gently looking over the right hand shoulder. If that feels okay for your neck. If not, just keep your gaze neutral. Breathing in, you may feel a stretch along the outside of your glute, your thigh. Trying to keep that right shoulder head down. And inhaling back to center. Plant the right foot down and lifting the left foot up. We're just going to roll out this ankle. So rolling in one direction and now rolling in the other. Again, taking your strap or just reaching behind the leg, whatever feels comfortable and with what you have available. And we're going to stretch the left hamstring. So bending the elbows, shoulders down if you've got a strap. Flexing the foot. And just gently breathing into the hamstring as you guide that foot towards you. Maybe feeling the hamstrings soften a little, just a millimeter with every exhale. Extending that right leg if you want to go deeper. And releasing the strap in the leg, guiding your left leg over to the right. Reaching the arms out. Gazing to the left if you feel comfortable to do so. Maybe even shutting down the eyes for a second here. Breathing into that twist. And inhale, bring your gaze back to center. Bring your foot back to center. And then taking your knees into your chest, just gently start to rock a little bit until you rock all the way up to seated. We're actually going to come forward onto our knees. So I will face you. We're coming into toe stand here. So actually, let me just show you for a second on this side. So sitting back on the heels, you want to be up on the balls of your toes. So make sure all of your toes are tucked under. And we are going to stretch our upper body while allowing the backs of our feet to stretch. So this is often a place that we neglect to stretch. And if it starts to get uncomfortable at any time, you can of course release onto the tops of your feet. But just starting off, sweeping both arms up overhead, palms touch, grabbing the left wrist with the right fingers, stretch that left arm up and guide it over to the right hand side. So breathing here, trying to spin your chest up towards the sky. And inhaling back to center and reaching for the right wrist with the left fingertips, guiding that over to the left hand side. Looking up if it's comfortable, spinning the chest up, and just lengthening through the right side body. And inhaling up to center, bringing the palms together to touch. You can interlace the fingers, point the fingers here, draw the shoulders down the back of your body here, and we'll take a gentle back bend, just releasing back as far as you can. That might only be a few millimeters, and inhaling up. Okay, so taking the hands down, we'll come back to face our mat. Plant the hands, spread the fingers. Toes are either still tucked or not. If you untuck them, just tap them out a little bit just to release from the toe stand. Then tuck them again, and we are going to press up into a downward facing dog. So keeping the knees bent here to start. We'll just press strongly through the hands. Make sure you're getting that nice flat back and stretch through the spine. And then you can start to pedal out the feet. So bending one knee and bringing the heel of the other foot down. And doing this on both sides. Just breathing here as you do. On an inhale, sweep your right foot up overhead. As you exhale, bring it to the outside of the right hand. So we're coming into a kind of a wide-legged lunge, keeping this left knee raised, staying high in the back of the toes. Just sweep your right arm up for a twist. Gazing upwards. And if you want here, we can start to play with this. So opening out the hands, you can even come up onto the ball of the right foot. Maybe let the knee fall out wide and gaze back towards the hand. Sweeping that back inside, we can drop the left knee, untuck the toes. So now we're in a low lizard pose here. You can stay up on the hands if you're really feeling the stretch here. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can come down onto your forearms. So if you are somewhere in between your hands and your forearms, this is where a prop like a block can help, as you can come down halfway, keeping that chest lifted, gazing forward. Just taking another couple of breaths here. the toes, coming off the knee and stepping back into a downward facing dog. So on an inhale, sweeping that left leg up overhead, and exhale, bringing it to the outside of the left hand. So staying up on the ball of that right foot, sweep the left hand up to the sky. And again, if you want to play here, you can try opening up the shoulder, maybe coming up onto the ball of that left toe, gazing backwards. And inhale, sweeping that left arm back around to the inside, dropping the right knee, untucking the toe. Taking a deep breath here, lifting the chest. And again, if you would like to go deeper, coming onto the forearms. You can allow that left knee to either stay glued to the shoulder or it can open up. Trying to keep your chest lifted as you gaze in front of you. And coming back up onto the hands, we're going to tuck that back toe. This time, instead of coming into downward dog, you are going to press off of it and come up to the front of your mat. So keeping the feet wide, bring the toes out. Actually, let's take a little bit of a forward fold first. So you can bend the knees and hang here. Maybe swaying from side to side. If you want, you can grab the elbows for ragdoll. Okay, and letting everything go. Just looking down, bring your toes out at a 45-degree angle here. And we are going to bend the knees, hands at heart center, and sink down into a squat. So again, this is somewhere that it might be helpful to have a prop. So if your heels are up, you can place a blanket or something underneath you. You can place blocks underneath your heels to help, or you can even place a block underneath your bum so that you can sit back. Because the aim of this is just to get the opening in the hips here. So whatever you need to do to feel that. Pressing the elbows into the knees, lifting through the chest. Place that right hand down in front of you, maybe about a foot in front in the center, and then open up through the left hand side. So breathing here, and you can either stay there, or if you want, you can wrap your arm around, grabbing the inside of the right thigh, and you can even move towards a bind if you've got the flexibility there and the shoulder opening. So inhaling the arm back up and sweeping it down. This time we'll place the left hand in front and open the right arm up to the sky. So again, finding whatever variation you're comfortable with, you can reach around and grab the inside of the left thigh there, or you can wrap that arm around and go for the bind. Okay, sweeping the arm up and around. Let's release. So coming back up, we'll do another little forward fold, bending the knees. Just letting the hips release. So rolling up to standing. Turn to face the wide edge of your mat and come to seated. So from here, we're going to come into a wide-legged stance. So whatever you can do, there's no right or wrong here. So just opening the legs into a V shape. And again, we are going to keep a prop nearby in case that's helpful for you. But if not, don't worry about it. Bending the left leg in, so the foot can come anywhere towards that right thigh or heel towards the groin. You're going to reach out with your right hand and grab whatever you can. So again, this is where it might be helpful. If you had a strap, you could use that to help you. I'm going to reach for my big toe with my peace fingers, and then I'm going to sweep the left arm up overhead and just bending again through the side, spinning the chest up. Breathing here into the left side body, into that right leg. And inhale, sweeping back up to center. This time stretching the left leg out and bending the right leg in, reaching for the foot with whatever you can. And inhale, sweep the right arm up and overhead. And reach again for somewhere along the arm maybe. If you can reach your toes, go ahead and do that. With every breath, trying to twist the body up towards the sky as well as sinking deeper. And inhale up to center. Just bringing the legs straight out in front of you. Give them a little bit of a shake. You can move any flesh out from underneath your sit bones. Sitting up tall. Inhale to reach up and exhale to reach forward. So again, grabbing anywhere you can. Maybe it's the legs or the shins. If you can reach your toes, you can do that. Or again, if you have a strap, you can use that to help with your forward fold. So in every inhale, lengthening up through the crown of the head, and every exhale, folding forward. So we're going to stay here for a few breaths. Keeping those feet flexed. The legs are active even as you soften into this pose. And inhale to look up, exhale to release. So coming back around, we will roll over the knees and come into a downward dog. So stepping back, pressing through the hands. Just taking a moment here, reconnecting with your breath. And on an inhale, sweep the right leg up. As you exhale, bring the knee forward to the right elbow and then drop it down behind the right wrist. So dropping the foot, extend your left leg out behind you. You may need to shimmy it back a little bit. You're aiming to have it straight behind as we come into pigeon. So taking a moment here, sitting upright, and then gently, if this feels okay for you, coming forward. This is another place where it's good to have some sort of a prop, so you can put a cushion or a block just underneath your right hip. If your right hip isn't fully coming to the mat, it can be good to have something behind there so that you can actually ease into this and remove some of that tension and stress from your body. So coming all the way down. If you don't reach all the way down, you can also place something underneath your forehead here. And then just breathing. If the mind starts to wander, bring it back to the breath. And inhaling up, gently start to walk your hands back in, tucking the toes behind you, lifting yourself up. Coming back into that downward dog, you may want to pedal your feet out here for a second. And on the left side, sweeping the left leg up overhead and bringing that elbow down, or that knee to the elbow, and then down to the left wrist. So again, stretching that right leg out long behind you, maybe placing a block or something beneath the hip, the left hip there, if it doesn't come all the way down to the mat. Taking an inhale as you lengthen through the crown of the head, and exhaling as you fold forward. So with every exhale, sending it towards an area of tension, maybe that you're feeling in the hips and the groin and the glutes. Two more breaths here. On your next inhale, gently starting to walk the hands up, removing any props you might have used, and just sitting over to the left-hand side. Sweep that right leg out in front of you. Placing the feet down, bring the hands behind you just for support, and we'll just windshield wiper the legs, left to right, releasing the hips. Okay, so keeping the feet placed down on the mat, we are going to bring the bum in a little bit closer to the heels. Again, you may want to have a prop nearby for this, but if not, don't worry. So just coming onto your back, reaching for the heels. If you can't find them, that's okay. Just want to make sure our legs are parallel. So from here, hands are flat down on the mat, and on an inhale, tuck the tailbone and lift the hips up. Bringing the hands underneath, you can start to wiggle the shoulders under, pressing strongly into the feet, making sure those knees aren't splaying out to the side, that they're staying parallel. And we're going to come into a bit of a supported bridge, so you can either use a block if you have one to place it underneath the flat part of your sacrum, or if you don't, you can use your arms coming onto your elbows and then like cradling the base of your spine. So we're just going to take a few breaths here, gently allowing our spine to open up a little. If this is too much for you, of course, always come down. Only do what feels good for your body. You should never feel pins and needles or any kind of like piercing, pinching pains. One more breath. And then exhale, releasing the hands, and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, lower down until your sacrum is the last point to reach the mat. Okay, from here, just letting the knees fall out, bring the feet together. We'll come into a reclined Baddha Konasana, or butterfly pose, placing one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. And just breathing here. Allowing everything to start relaxing and melting into the mat. you can stay here, or if you'd like to come into Shavasana, you can extend your feet out long, letting the feet flop open to the side. Hands can remain on your heart and your belly, or you can release them to the mat, coming alongside your body, palms facing up, maybe bringing your shoulders down the back, allowing your chin to tuck in slightly. Taking a deep breath in and then sighing it all out. So releasing that deep connection with the breath, and just allowing your body to be. If your mind starts to wander, bringing it back to your body, to this present moment. You have nowhere to be right now but here. When you're ready, starting to wiggle the fingers and the toes, bringing life back into the body, maybe circling the wrists and the ankles, stretching the arms up overhead, pointing the toes. Give yourself a nice full body stretch, maybe having a yawn. Oh. And then bringing the knees into the chest, just holding on here, and then allowing your knees to fall over to the right hand side as you come into the fetal position. Still keeping the eyes closed, placing your left hand on the ground. Push yourself up until you find a comfortable seated position. Sitting up tall, sweep the arms up overhead, palms touch, and bring them down to the heart center. Bringing your sternum towards your thumbs, tucking your chin slightly. Just thanking yourself for taking the time to practice today, to do something kind for your body and your mind. Thank you for taking the time to practice with me. Namaste.